This is 6 Minutes, the Seriously International Daily Newscast. It's Wednesday, March 12th. I'm Emma Albright.
And I'm Bertrand. It's dinner time in Hong Kong, while folks in Toronto are just having breakfast. It's the lunch hour in Munich and here in the Welcome newsroom in Paris. These are the latest headlines. US military aid to Ukraine resumes. The global trade war escalates with the launch of US tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. And our daily quiz question comes from the Amazon rainforest. US aid deliveries to Ukraine through Poland resumed early Wednesday. Polish Foreign Minister Radoslaw Sikorski confirmed the news a day after Ukraine agreed to Washington's proposal for a 30-day ceasefire with Russia. US President Donald Trump says he hopes to speak to his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in the next few days, as Washington officials prepare to travel to Moscow to discuss the offer.
U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum imports went into effect today, escalating a U.S.-led global trade war. President Trump's action to bulk up protections for American steel and aluminum producers restores effective global tariffs of 25% on all imports of the metals and extends the duties to hundreds of downstream products made from them, including nuts and bolts, bulldozer blades, and soda cans. Yemen's Houthi rebels vowed to resume shipping attacks over the cutoff of aid to Gaza by Israel. The armed group said late on Tuesday that it was resuming the ban on the passage of all Israeli ships in the Red Sea because Israel failed to honor the deadline the Houthis had announced on Friday.
Greenland's center-right opposition Democratic Party, which favors a slow approach to independence from Denmark, won Tuesday's parliamentary election. The election on this sparsely-populated territory was dominated by US President Donald Trump's pledge to take control of the island from Denmark. Now, let's take a closer look at what the international press is covering.
Argentine daily Rio Negro led today with images of protesters outside of the trial starting today of doctors accused for the alleged role in the death of Diego Maradona. Investigators have charged the doctors with the equivalent of involuntary manslaughter, with prosecutors accusing the medical staff of negligence in the soccer legend's 2020 death from cardiac arrest. Press in Hungary is covering the government's targeting of dual citizens and members of the LGBTQ+ community in proposed constitutional changes. The move could mean a ban on an annual march celebrating the LGBTQ+ community and the expulsion of citizens with dual citizenship if they are deemed to pose a threat to the country's sovereignty. Prime Minister Viktor Orban has repeatedly criticized LGBTQ+ people and pledged to crack down on foreign funding of independent media and non-governmental organizations in Hungary.
Portuguese Prime Minister Luís Montenegro lost a confidence vote over conflict of interest accusations tied to his family business, potentially triggering the country's third election in 3 years. President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa must now decide whether to dissolve parliament and call for new elections. We have an analysis from French public radio station France Inter on the meeting in Saudi Arabia between Ukrainian and American diplomats. Emma, what's this piece about?
Pierre Esqui writes for France Inter that the debate over a possible ceasefire in Ukraine has shifted from territorial defense to securing guarantees for Kyiv. He says, there's a not-so-small victory and one huge question mark in the Washington-Kyiv Accord reached Tuesday. The victory for Ukraine is the restoration of U.S. military aid and intelligence sharing, which had been suspended 10 days ago after the Oval Office clash between Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky. This was crucial not only from a military standpoint, but also for the morale of Ukrainians. The big question mark is everything else. The meeting in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, between the close aides of Volodymyr Zelensky and their two American counterparts, Secretary of State Marco Rubio and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, leaves no shortage of uncertainties, including what Moscow's next moves might be. And from Business Daily Les Echos, we have a piece about the professional workers who renovate hard-to-reach parts of buildings by rappelling via rope. From restoring the fire-ravaged Notre Dame Cathedral to the Olympic Games, from industrial chimneys to nuclear power plants, rope access technicians are in demand everywhere a facelift is needed.
We're closing things out today with a daily quiz question, which comes to us from the Amazon rainforest. What is Brazil's controversial building project in preparation for the COP30 climate summit slated for Belém in November? Is it a skyscraper to relocate indigenous communities? Is it B, a highway in the rainforest? C, a zoo for endangered species? Or D, a floating airport on the Amazon? And the correct answer is B, a new 4-lane highway cutting through tens of thousands of acres of protected Amazon rainforest is being built for the COP30 climate summit in the Brazilian city of Belém. It aims to ease traffic to the city, which will host more than 50,000 people, including world leaders, at the conference in November. The state government is attempting to sell the highway's sustainable credentials, but some locals and conservationists are outraged at the environmental impact.
That's the latest from around the world. If you like this podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. À demain!